Across the country, women and men speaking out for and against abortion bans.
Even here in Arizona, where there is already a law on the books. So where does our state stand on the issue?
Your unaborted baby wants
My
you.
unaborted baby wants you. I know, my child that I didn't kill.
They love you in Afghanistan. How does it feel to have something in common with the Taliban? They agree with you. They agree with you.
They have adopted or if they fostered, because a lot of people can't, and I can respect that, okay? It's a very long, it's a very screwed up process, and that is also part of what's wrong with America.
Yes.
Okay? Do you ever give money or volunteer your time to any of those organizations to help the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of children that are unwanted?
Can I answer that? Sure. Yeah, we work with Christian Family Care Agency. We've given lots of money. We've actually helped to support women who have these children, families. We have multiple families in our church that we've helped through the adoption process. We've actually taken those classes. We've encouraged and put people into those classes. We've actually held classes and seminars at our church for adoption, and we have adopted children running around our church.
Okay, any that are not denominational, because, and I say this with all due respect.
So now the standard is denomination? Okay.
With my question, I do say this with all due respect. A lot of times, these children who are waiting on foster care, who are waiting on adoptive care, are not coming through any kind of Christian or faith-based organization.
True. Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
But I'm failing to see here, when I answered the objection and there's no response, I'm getting to it. If you could allow a long enough answer, I'm going to get to it. So when I give you the foundation that yes, we have in fact adopted children, we do classes on adopting children, we feed adoption children, all those things. When I answer that and you don't respond to that and you say yes, but not just Christian, what I want to say is that where does this get us to in the abortion discussion? Because it seems like what's being argued here is there are a lot of kids who are struggling and in poverty, and therefore we should kill them.
Hey, what about the
I'm talking to her. I'm talking to her, ma'am. I'll get to you next. Go ahead. Please don't interrupt her.
We can get to your question.
Okay, so I totally understand that. And my position, actually, with all due respect to everyone around in this circle, is not that that abortion rights or women's rights have nothing to do with just killing babies, okay? And everything to do...
I mean this with all respect. Can you explain what you mean? I don't really think I know what you mean.
Actually, okay. And it has everything to do, with control.
So okay, could you explain what that has to do with what I just said to you?
Sure, I can. Okay.
It's about control. I said we should kill the poor kids.
No.
They're in orphanages.
That's
so
not what I said.
They should die early on.
Wow, you're totally putting words in my mouth.
No, your arguments here were that because there's an orphanage system and a foster care problem, because kids struggle as they're growing up, they should just be able to be killed when they're in the womb.
No,
Okay,
wow.
what's your argument?
So what I said, or what I asked actually, are there answers from your perspective that are not Christian or faith-based, okay, in helping unwanted children?
Well, we're okay. I'm going to answer that question, and that's from this perspective, is that it's impossible to be neutral. You're not neutral, and I'm not neutral. We all have a worldview, and what I would argue is that without the Word of God and a biblical word, I'm answering the question. I am. I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer, ma'am. If you could let me and show her enough respect. So I want to respect what you asked me. I apologize for her behavior. So everybody has a worldview. Everybody has a worldview. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize again. So everybody has a worldview, right? So you have a worldview and I have a worldview. And I would argue that apart from the biblical worldview, there is no human value and dignity. So you said without using the Bible. But if I don't use the Bible, right. So if I don't use the Word of God as a foundation, then you and I are just purposeless protoplasm bobbing around in a cosmos that didn't have us in mind. If our ancestors were fish, which I'm not sure do you accept that worldview? Are you an atheist, agnostic? Okay, so if I'll show you how it does matter. I'll show you how it matters.
That I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious.
Okay, so if it matters because we have to ask the question, what is this lovely person right here? What is she? She's lovely, she's wonderful, she's beautiful. I'd say we all have a perspective that says that she's worthy of value, dignity, and respect. But we have to have a basis to say that. Because, watch this. We have to be able to say this. This is a random result of evolutionary processes according to our dominant secular worldview, right? The universe didn't have us in mind or her in mind. According to the predominant worldview today, she's a cosmic accident and so is this. My worldview says, no, she's unique and in the image of God and deserves value, dignity, love, and respect. My question is, if you abandon the biblical worldview, what basis do you have to call anything lovely or worthy of respect?
All right, so in that same vein, if you believe that we are all worthy of dignity and respect, do you believe that a child of rape is an act of God?
So you didn't answer the challenge I gave to you, but I'm happy to answer all that you asked me. So you didn't answer how we can see other humans as valuable, but I'll answer the question about rape.
Can you give me a yes or no answer?
Sure. I'd love to give you the answer to the issue of rape. I believe that the human being in the womb is always worthy of our value, love, and respect and protection. And I do believe that the rapist deserves the death penalty, but not the child.
So that's a no.
I didn't suggest murder. I didn't suggest murder. There's a difference between here's the difference. A human being that goes so far as to do such a wicked and evil thing to a woman has determined to commit a crime that is worthy of death. I'm not suggesting that we do vigilante justice and go kill that person. I'm saying there should be a trial, criminal proceedings, and any man who would actually do such a wicked thing to a woman deserves to die. Your position is that the child deserves the death penalty.
So do you believe in absolute good and absolute evil?
I believe that God's character is the absolute standard of good, yes.
And can there be good without evil?
I believe
And
that
evil without good?
I believe that God's character is the standard of good. And I believe that anything that is against the character of God is evil. But back, can you? And I don't mean this to make you feel bad or to try to win debate points, but I mean genuinely. I want to ask you this question. When I said that the man who rapes a woman deserves the death penalty, everybody went up in arms. How could you believe such a thing? But you all believe the child deserves it.
Okay, but you are also inflicting your opinion on the person being raped. Do you understand that?
Can you explain what you mean? I'm saying that the man deserves the death
So
penalty.
I want to tell you a story.
Okay.
I worked in a domestic violence shelter for years. I held the hand of a 12-year-old little girl raped by her stepfather, who looked me in the eyes with tears and said to me, I don't want this thing in my body.
I do, and it's in the trees, it's in the grass. That's my God.
What do you say to that girl?
I would want to come alongside that girl, love her, care for her, support her, and work towards justice. Well, I'm answering. I would want the man who did that to receive the death penalty, but I don't believe that we should give the death penalty to the child. You still haven't answered that. You believe that the man should not get the death penalty, but the child should.
Okay, but I don't believe what you're doing is cutting out and totally neglecting the girl in the middle.
No, I'm not.
But you didn't.
I actually just denied that. I said we should come alongside her, support her, love her.
A choice about what happened to her.
Well,
Do you understand that?
what we shouldn't say is that we should kill the children of criminals. The child, what has the child done in the womb?
Oh, okay, but the child is the 12-year-old child first.
This is a fallen world. Evil and wicked things happen in this fallen world, which is why you hate it so much, this evil thing that happened. But we don't solve the problem of evil and injustice by perpetrating more injustice upon other children.
And yet it's okay to perpetrate to kill her rapist.
I'm on the right side of the line.
There's a baby here. There's a baby here.
Just like I would have been
Respect the bubble.
If you're advocating for
Leave your baby at home. If you're so concerned about your child, leave your baby at home.
no, I have the right to be out here.
Then don't understand about it.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have
care
the
about
right
babies?
to
Care about babies?
And you have
Oh, you're fine. I just didn't want to bother you.
Black babies are aborted. Do you understand how many African?
Do you know how many white babies are aborted? Do you know how many Asian babies are? Who cares?
Well, it matters. Do you know that? Let me ask you a question. Who knows about Margaret Sanger? Who knows about Margaret Sanger? Do you know about Margaret Sanger? Do you know that she was a very vocal racist and hated black people? Do you know that she believed that it would be good to actually wipe out the black population through abortion?
You're saying that. You're
Well,
the one bringing up wiping out
let me
black
ask you a
people,
question.
wiping out this.
Where are most Planned Parenthood set up predominantly? Where are they set up?
And you're gonna make this a race issue now. That's the issue. Is that this is a race issue.
It is.
This is a woman's right. This is a.
The issue of abortion is certainly a race issue as well. It's not a human. It is a human rights issue. But it is a human rights issue. But I'm going to say, for someone that is a beautiful black woman like yourself, I have concern. I have concern for you as an image bearer of God. I want to show you respect and love. I want to show you love and respect and concern. And I want to say that someone who is a sister in humanity, your lack of concern for where this comes from, and there's the typical apologetic of Planned Parenthood supporters. No argument, just talking about their pussies. Okay, can you explain how I'm going in circles?
I'm not talking into your. Get that out of my face.
So you can't engage in a rational dialogue.
Stand by the strength of your conviction.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so what about the fertility clinics? And it's all okay for embryos in fertility clinics to be destroyed.
Evil. Absolutely evil. Absolutely evil, and we're going to fight against that as well.
Well, why aren't you doing that now?
Well, here's what we're doing.
You're standing out in front of fertility clinics
May I?
saying, well, wait, let me speak. You've been talking a long time.
Yeah.
I'm saying, why don't you go out into fertility clinics and be protesting their destruction of embryos right there?
May I answer?
And my second point.
2 questions.
Yep, is what are they going to do with all those embryos in fertility clinics? If they are not destroyed, what's going to happen to them?
Can I answer? Number 1, our fight here against this is fighting for protecting all humans from conception. And you are human from conception. You're recognizing that right now by talking about the fertility clinics and the embryos. So let me finish. I let you finish. Okay. Let's be fair to each other. So can we be fair to each other? I let you do 2. Okay. So may I please? May I please? You gave me 2. So, ma'am, if you're not going to let me finish the conversation, ma'am, you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. Ma'am, can I finish a thought? You had 2 points. May I finish without interruption?
If you don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, so number 1, when you bring up the moral problem of the fertility clinic by saying those are embryos that are fertilized, you're demonstrating that you recognize that they are human and it's a problem. The next thing is, again, I'm addressing your argument. Feel free to respond after. Feel free to respond after. Next, snowflake babies.
I asked you that question.
There you go.
And you have no
So this is what happened, boys. When you get into conversations with women like this and you engage their arguments, you'll see that they don't have a way to respond. They always walk away. That's the critical thing to see.
They don't have anything to say.
No. What's that? Who's calling a name? They're called snowflake. No, ma'am. Hey. And there you go. You should, before you try to use something as an argument, you feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask me. No, I say feel free to ask. Thank you. So it's actually a very amazing thing where these fertilized eggs are then implanted into the uterus, and women give birth to these babies. There's actually a really incredible story, an incredible story that there's one human being who was actually 15 or 16 years on ice. and is now running around because it's a snowflake baby, put into the womb, given a chance to grow and to develop. And so that's what we do with them, and Christians are doing it across the country.
But what about ectopic pregnancies? What about the pregnancies that don't take?
Well, I have
They're
people.
there, and the mother needs to get
Yeah.
that out, or else they both will die.
Yeah, I have people actually in our.
No.
I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer. We have people who are within our church that were ectopic pregnancies.
But that's not that's anecdotal evidence. People at
You
your
asked
church.
you asked me what to do about it, and
I'm
I said,
asking you why is that not okay? If a child is going to kill the mother and itself, you cannot terminate the pregnancy. An ectopic pregnancy, people are talking about taking it out of the body and then reimplanting it in the womb.
May I answer?
Does not
May I answer? Okay, just give me a few seconds to answer. Are you aware of the statistics on abortion? That less than 2% are for life, incest, or rape?
You have no idea.
Less than 2%. Less than 2%. Man, there are records. You can see this. And there you go. And that's typically what happens.
Just so you know, abortion is still legal in all 50 states.
No, actually, it's illegal in Arizona. AZ statute 13-3603.
Roe v. Wade, federal law trumps all of that.
No, ma'am, that's not how it works. Supreme Court does not create law. What's our Constitution say about creation of law?
If you want to, if you like, take it back.
You seem really friendly, but try to keep your hands clean.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no. Like you can challenge it. You can challenge that, and it can go.
Can I ask you a question? Our Constitution, what does it say about law? Who creates law? Can you just please answer? You can't. You can't answer. The Supreme Court does not create law according to our Constitution. Congress makes law.
Okay.
So the Supreme Court was an opinion, not a law.
So the Supreme Court can uphold that federal statute.
There's been no federal statute. There's been no federal statute. Ma'am, you need to educate yourself on the law. God bless you. All right. Thank you, officers. Appreciate your protection.